Welcome back. Welcome back.
The fact is that I am an American, but I identify as a Cuban American. That makes me Cuban.
That's not what makes someone Cuban.
I would have been had it not been for circumstances outside their control. I would have been Cuban if that wasn't taken from me.
No one took it from you, though. You just never were.
How dare you tell me that I cannot be and do not identify as being Cuban? I can't be who I want to be.
You
and who
could.
I feel that I am.
You could. But it's just not true, though.
This is the part that I want you guys to understand, is that I was never given that choice. I would have been that Cuban that I was meant to be. And now you're ripping that shit away. You're ripping it away. Do you see how...
So you're crying and suffering because you feel like I'm trying to take something from you. But let me tell you something. I'm not taking anything from you. I'm only pointing out the fact that to be Cuban, you have to be born there.
I am telling you right now, I was born in the United States. I am an American. I admit that. I agree with that. 100%. Let's move on with that. My nationality as an identified person is Cuban. And every single fucking time you tell me I'm a white girl, every single fucking time you try and rip that away from me and tell me I'm fucking European, you are denying that from me.
Is your DNA fully European?
Who the fuck gives a shit? Todo lo que yo sé es hablar español. Mi primer idioma fue español.
That's a European language.
Puta de Castro. Cada vez que yo quiero identificarme como cubana, cada vez que no digo algo así, tú me lo quieres limpiar de eso. Hijo de puta.
The only one that's been stripped away. The only one that has been stripped away from their culture and identity is us, from your people. You have not been stripped away from anything, from nothing at all. You are crying and suffering because you feel like I'm trying to take something from you. I'm not taking anything at all. I'm not taking nothing from you. I'm only telling you the technicalities of nationality, and you're trying to claim a nationality that isn't yours. That's it. That's it. I have not taken anything from you. Nothing at all. Nothing.
You don't know the fucking thing. You don't know the fucking trauma that you're causing right now. I have had to fight for years. I'm 40 fucking 8 years old. And all of a sudden, you want to take the only thing that I have left to hold onto. You want to rip that away from me. How better is that from you than taking that away from somebody who wants to identify themselves as gender?
See how crazy people are getting right now? Because now, like I said, no one wants to be European.
Thank you, Big Judah. So, as I'm watching Big Judah, right, I hear that, and it made me think of many things. One, it made me think about how I make people feel when I speak truth. And I apologize for that. Because I understand it. That's why I do it. My father said, take the stick out of your eye before you put a stick in someone else's. Well, it didn't say it like that, but what it means is once you face something, then you can help other people face it because you've been through it. So you have the right to say it. So, as I watch this man tell this woman scientifical facts And she's obviously crying and very distraught. I realized I probably have that effect on people because he's just talking to her. He's not making faces, he's calm. And I don't know what the whole discussion was because this is a clip of a clip, whatever, right? But it made me realize something about magic because we all know spelling words, your words are magic. When you lie, you trick someone's brain into believing a truth that's not real. So you have performed magic on them. You brainwash them. See, we don't like to go that far and say that's what a lie is, but that's what a lie is. You're a wizard. You're a sorcerer. And the better you are at it, the better you are at it. Now, I realized because of challenging my own ego over and over all these years and trying to explore what it actually is and gain control of it. I thought by giving it a name, giving it something to do, giving it a way to express itself without hurting other people, which that's impossible, at least from what I know, that I could show other people because I realized that this thing, this ego thing, whatever this other side of us is, it needs to be controlled, but it actually needs to be set free because it's controlled. Now, what I mean is, when we're children, we don't care about titles. We don't care about names. And we're all one. We're all children are just like, hey, you're a kid. You like baseball? I like baseball. You know what I mean? It's just get cool with each other right away. It's unity. It's what is this that we're in? And let's figure it out together by touching shit and breaking shit. And then when all the fucking the big people come over and yell at us, then we gotta listen. They stick together. It's them versus us. Period. And when we get older, we fall into these fucking titles and these names. See, I realized a long time ago, if you take a man's name away from him and his title, he's destroyed. Because he's not a real man. If that's where we live in the world of power. Names and titles. What the fuck is a name now? What the fuck is a title? It's something we say. It's something that someone gives you. How can someone give you what you already are? Because they gave your ego a name, a title. And then we enact and live our egos. And soon as someone strips away or challenges that fucking ego or that title or that name, we become that lady. And start fighting over fucking stupid shit. He's pure Cuban, she's Cuban American. Right? Well, my father said, you only are what you came out of. See, the only way we come out is from our fathers. We go into our mother and then come out of her. So whatever your father is, the Lord said, that's what you are. I don't care what you look like. I don't care what title they gave you. Whatever your daddy was, that's what you are. You know, why do you think they made laws against black people having sex with other people? Because if a black man have sex with you, your kids are black. You ever wonder why they made that a law against the black man? Because they understand. They know the Bible's real. And they know we can make people that look like you, but be one of us. Just like they can do it to us. Look like us, but be one of them. Now, I realized watching that video, the ego in full effect, in full action, as that man was telling her the DNA truth of, I'm from Cuba, I was born here, I'm a Cuban, which makes sense. And he's telling her, like, look, you're from America, you was born in America, you're American and Cuban. That's why that title, that name, you're half and half. Right? But according to my father, according to the guy that I guarantee you he thinks he believes in, and the guy that she thinks she believes in, Jesus, his daddy said, whatever your father is, that's what the fuck you are. So it doesn't matter if she was born anywhere in the world. My father said, you are what your father is. It doesn't matter where you were born. It matters where you came from. Who'd you come out of? Who'd he come out of? Who'd he come out of, and who'd he come out of? Get it? Because this can change. All of this can change. Mixing with the right people. And then you don't look the same no more. But if you keep records of, you know, where you came from, your heritage, you know, you can never forget who you are. Now, I realize, thinking about this, it's just so crazy how we're triggered by, like what she said, you're stripping the only thing away from me that I have. A name. Someone takes a name from you and you're dead. You're devastated. This is how we can have things that are not even physically taken from us, and we're distraught and ready to fucking destroy and be angry and furious and what? It's not even. He's not a judge. It's not even like. It's not like he didn't say you're not a Cuban at all or something. You're not. He just said you're not full-blooded. And then she's getting irate after she herself calls herself half and half. Like, people have to grow up and listen to their own words out of their mouth and stop being angry at other people telling you the truth. Because you want to be something. You didn't ask to be born here in what you are. It's not your fault you don't get to be 100% this or 100% that or fat or skinny. No one fucking got to ask for that from my father. We're just put here. We gotta stop looking at each other like, you look good, so you're a fucking asshole. God took favor on you. Well, he did. The fuck are you mad at him for? He didn't ask for it. Like, people get jealous over each other, I see. Ego. All this shit is, all these things are just goes back to the ego. Jealousy, hate, envy. All that shit is ego. All that shit is ego. And it's really, 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 and I'm not saying I'm above it or whatever. I'm just really noticing this, and it's good for my own health and sanity, because watching my own videos and watching other people and watching how they fucked us up and other people act calm and I'm in control of my egos and all. No, you're not. You niggas know you're not free, and you niggas is calm. That's why I laugh at people that try to make me feel any type of way, because I believe in the Lord. And the Lord said oppression makes a wise man angry. You give a man a bank account and some money, some decent food, and to him he's free. I'm free. I'm free. I buy a car and I keep on paying for it in insurance and all of this shit. Within 5 years, I already bought that car 3 times. I buy a house and I keep paying mortgage and all this other shit, and I bought that 5 times about time I pay it off, and still will continue to pay on it. I buy a cell phone and I continuously pay the fucking bill on it, so I'm buying a cell phone over and over and over. But I am free. I'm free. Yet I own nothing. And anything I do own, I can't own it without continuously paying for it. Do you own it? Do you really own it? Your titles, your fucking whatever, can all be taken within seconds. And then what are you? Then what? See, they got us running around in a fucking treadmill like fucking gerbils. And when they take everyone's titles away, and they take your illusionary power of money away, people are gonna really, really wake up to a really bad reality. I suggest people really, really start working on seeing yourself instead of just always being able to see into others. Because I had a discussion with a woman recently, or maybe it was a man, I don't remember. But I just remember we talked about, it was a woman. And I remember we were talking about something, and then I said to her, why is it that the Lord makes us see into someone else and their problems, but we can't see what we gotta do ourselves? And she was like, yo, that's really good. That's a really good question. And I said, I think it's because that will prove to people that you need someone else automatically. Because we all know that we can see the other person's shit. So then we should automatically look at other people like, yo, they see me. They can see me. Motherfucker, yes! And if you want to get better, you can't see your own flaws all the time because you're not paying attention. You can't pay attention to yourself and live life. So then what does that mean? We're supposed to be like asking each other like, yo, bro, what am I slipping in? What am I doing? I know I can't see my ego flipping out right now. What's going on? But with 2 fucking chips on our shoulder, we don't want to hear nobody else tell us about ourselves. I wonder who taught us to be like that. To go against our God-given nature, knowing someone else can see our bullshit. And then we say, nah, nigga, you can't see. You can't, nah. The Lord designed us to look, see into each other. Just looking at each, like, stop. So many people deny these things. I realize truth is really so blatantly true in everyone's faces. We just got told we don't have to deal with it. We got shown we don't have to deal with it. We got trained, or whatever it is that got the world to be the way it is. I don't even care no more. I don't want to blame nobody because I know it's a choice. No one sat here and put pistols in our face and said, you're going to be on the phone all day. You're going to do this all day. You're going to do that all day. There's a choice. We all may not know the greater rights and wrongs, But we know the very small things that lead to the bigger things. And it's like nobody wants to act like we have power to do anything, or maybe it's like what's the saying? It's not my job, or whatever these things. I'm just thinking. It's just really strange though when I really think about how we're so controlled by these names and these titles, and you are not nothing except what you really do. You can be given a title of whatever. You're the manager, right? You got pushed through. Everyone can see you're not really the one. Everyone knows you're really not a manager. We just act like you are because we know you got put there. And we know you have the power because of the title to remove people and act like an asshole. But everyone knows you're not the one. You know you're not the one. When you go home, you know you're not the one. You know you don't deserve it. And everyone else around you fucking knows you don't deserve it. We just are stuck in a world where no one fucking calls it out. No one says nothing. No one just proves, yo, this guy's incompetent and we're losing money for it. Because he's the boss's son or the best friend of the boss or the whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? We live in that world where everyone's so buddy because they can get titles and power that we'll let our companies not make money. We'll let our cities full of shit so we can hire our lazy ass buddies, bums and shit. It's like, what? What's wrong with American workforce right now? It ain't people. They don't hire motherfuckers that really want to work because you got to really pay motherfuckers that really work. It's greed. That's why this shit's falling apart around us. Everyone's a greedy fuck. And they need more. Never reaching this imaginary cap. And then, another thing I was thinking about that got me laughing at niggas. All these rich entrepreneur motherfuckers and all that, I realized, I'm like, yo, with all that talking about how they gotta work all these 48 hours, 70 hours, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck is the point of trying to be rich if you fucking spend most of your life working, nigga? I'm not getting rich so I can fucking work most of my life. Who the fuck is really winning? You got rich niggas that work all the time. They can't ever have a fucking solid wife. Their children are falling to drugs and bullshit. If you're middle class, it's like, yo, like, where's it at? I want to know where it's at. I want to know where the real life at. Where it's at? Where the middle ground? Where that I could be happy and make enough money and enjoy my life. Where the fuck is that at? Oh yeah, that don't exist no more. If you rich, your ass gonna work until you can enslave multiple people to work for you. And even then, I don't know, I ain't never seen the Most High say you can get addicted to anything. That's why most people that work that hard to be rich, you get stuck working because you become addicted to it. So, that's your life now. Who the fuck wants to be addicted to working? That's not what the fuck we came to this earth for. To be addicted to working. There's nothing wrong with being a go-getter and all of that. Like, I watched a billionaire rich guy say, I'm addicted to working. Like, I'm addicted to getting money. I'm just, this is what I do. I do this more than I do anything. And I was like, yo, he made more money in 1 year than everyone I've ever met in my life will make in their fucking entire life. And he keeps making more money. I'm like, yo, what the fuck are you trying to prove to even yourself now? It's because he's done everything. There's no more struggle. There's nothing left except to get more. That's what? All love, all praise to the Most High, man. Like I said, like my father said, I'm rich. I'm rich already.